AirPods Pro 2 and the BOSE Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2. Are either of these good for audiophiles? Let's find out. Both of these are fresh releases from Apple and BOSE. Both are true wireless in-ear solutions with their own sets of ups and downs. Let's start off with build and comfort. Now, the new version of the AirPods Pros come with the option for extra small ear tips, which is a welcome addition. I know several people now who can actually use AirPods Pros that couldn't before. Aside from that, they're very visually similar to the first generation of the AirPods Pros. There's an extra microphone added on the outside here, as well as capacitive touch controls. The case has a speaker on the bottom that indicates charge, and you can also use that to find the case with an app if you end up losing it. And there's a little lanyard strap. The BOSE, well, they are a bit more of an interesting shape, more of an earbud style that lock into the inside of your ear here and twist downwards. I do find these considerably more secure, especially when doing things like bicycling, running, or just walking around a lot. On every insertion, the BOSE play a test tone that then calibrates them to your ears. I've found that to be a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes I have to take them out and reinsert them because I'll get a weird sound or it'll calibrate wrong. While the cases both have a similar purpose, the BOSE case is definitely larger. In fact, it's almost twice as large when you account for depth as the AirPods Pro 2's case. And they are a bit more awkward to pull out. You have to get them just right because of their odd shape. And I can't help but notice the BOSE case does feel a bit cheaper than the AirPods case does. But there's upsides as well. The BOSE case does have USB-C, which makes it a lot easier to charge with all my devices, where the AirPods for some reason are still using Lightning. I mean, of course, this isn't the only way to charge them, but it's kind of silly to still be using Lightning in 2022. Who wants to carry one extra charger when they're traveling? Why not just bring one Type-C cable for everything? Both of these work with Dolby Atmos. Apple does it through their spatial audio, and BOSE, well, it just works with Atmos. I used the AirPods Pro 2 with the Apple Music app playing Atmos through that, and I used the BOSE Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2 on Atmos through Tidal. And since we're starting to talk about Atmos, let's get into sound, and we'll talk about frequency response, objective sound, noise canceling, and transparency mode after that. Sound-wise, both of these are very good. The AirPods Pro 2 are a considerable step up from the AirPods Pro 1, a very welcome change in tuning and technicality. They have a new amp, a new DAC, and a new driver. Tuning is also considerably more linear. We don't have as much recesses in the treble. They just sound good. Soundstage is great. Detail is surprisingly good even with the limitations of the codec that they're using, because these are not running off of a lossless codec. Now, do I feel like that matters? Honestly, no. You don't need 24-bit in your earbuds to listen to 16-bit music. The BOSE share this same codec limitation, and once again, I really don't feel like it matters. There's probably some IEMs, true wireless specifically, in which the codec is going to matter, but honestly, these both sound great, and I'm not sitting on a train critical listening. I'm not sitting on an airplane going, oh, I need to have this insanely fine level of detail. The tuning and convenience features of these far make up for any extremely small nuance. And I still feel like the sound quality of them far surpasses a lot of things on the market that might have lossless codecs, but very subpar tuning. The BOSE are a bit more V-shaped than the AirPods, more bass and more treble. Still somehow inoffensive at the same time because the treble tuning has areas of it that tend to be a bit more soft, which is interesting. I wonder though if that's just the tonal balance of the bass kind of leveling things out. Either way, the BOSE are more fun tuning, whereas the AirPods are a little bit more neutral. Both of them do have a bit more of a bass shelf. You'll find that these are either side of Harman's in-ear target, with the AirPods having a little bit less bass than the BOSE, and, well, BOSE having a little bit more. Soundstage on both is great. Honestly, I was more impressed several times with Atmos on the BOSE than I was on the AirPods, though the AirPods did deliver me a more consistent experience when Atmos was turned off. And with that, I'm really torn between the two of them on sound quality. I know from an objective perspective, the AirPods Pros are extremely solid. And from a subjective point of view, well, the BOSE are fun, they're spacious, and they really deliver an experience that does sound bigger than a true wireless in-ear. The BOSE definitely have the edge up on things like impact, but the AirPods have an edge on things like dynamics through the mid-range and highs. And really, it's hard for me to pick a clear winner between the two because it's going to be such a subjective toss-up. With that said, I've got some graphs pulled up here on my phone. Let's talk about objective sound. As you can see here, the green line is Harman's in-ear target, the blue line is the BOSE Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2, and the red line is the AirPods Pro 2. The AirPods Pro 2, while pretty close in the highs and lows to Harman's target, are a bit more emphasized in the mid-range. And the BOSE, well, it's actually slightly more V-shaped than Harman's in-ear target. But you can see in the upper treble where the BOSE are a little bit softer. So while we're getting more of the lower end of the ear gain, we're not getting quite as much upper treble, and that is kind of what adds the contrast of these being more V-shaped but also inoffensive at the same time. I think to the general audiophile listener, they'll probably prefer the sound of the AirPods Pro 2 more, but I wouldn't fault anyone for liking the BOSE Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2 either because, well, I like them. Now here is a test that is interesting. I placed speakers in 10 different positions, gated response, far away from walls, and calibrated. Then measured test tones and measured test tones again with these in-ears in the ears of my test rig with transparency mode on. If none of that makes sense, basically what I'm trying to do is gauge how effective the transparency mode is on each of these in-ears. And here's the result. If you were to see a flat line, that would mean that they're perfectly transparent to the outside world. Obviously neither of them are, but in this case the red is the AirPods Pro 2 and the blue is the BOSE Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2. Again, this is a test of the transparency mode, and the results are interesting. So for things like vocals, the AirPods Pro 2 sound more natural to me. It's got a bit more presence in the vocal region of a kilohertz to 1.5 kilohertz, but we lose out on a fair bit of treble. The BOSE, while they fall short in parts of the bass, are much more neutral through the treble and mid-range overall. And really what that means is it's going to depend on, well, you, which one sounds more natural. To me, the AirPods Pros sound a bit more natural, but to other people I know who have great ears, the BOSE Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2 sound more natural in their transparency mode. One thing I will note is the AirPods are better at directional sound in transparency mode. If I put them in and someone is talking behind me, it still sounds like someone is talking behind me, where the BOSE tend to lose a bit of that directionality. Now, both do have the ability to attenuate louder sounds when you're in transparency mode. So for example, if I have these BOSE in, I have transparency mode on and I slam the door, well, it's not going to sound like I slammed the door. It's going to attenuate that loud sound. I'll still be able to hear the rest of my environment around me. And that works very well. The AirPods Pros have this same feature. When it comes to noise canceling, however, well, it gets more complicated. Both of these are very good in different ways. The AirPods Pro 2 just cut out everything. This is going to be a dream for airplanes, with the exception that I find the BOSE to be more comfortable. And the BOSE, well, they cut out mid-range and bass very, very well with their noise canceling, but I did find myself hearing a little bit of treble bleeding through. And the BOSE also had a little bit more of that cabin pressure effect than the AirPods did. Now I want to note, it's not much. It is a barely noticeable effect in comparison between the two, but it is there if you're extremely sensitive to that. So let's circle back around. Which one of these is right for you? Should you consider either of them as an audiophile? Well, the answer is yes. I'm having trouble deciding between them. The AirPods Pros are a bit more neutral, the BOSE are a bit more fun, and they both have their strengths. Either one is a very strong contender for a true wireless IM for an audiophile or someone who just cares about having decent sound on the go. Both have good features, both are, well, really well thought out, and I can't fault any audiophile who buys or recommends one of these two products. I mean, let's be honest, it's not going to be as detailed as your $400 DAC amp and $1,000 headphone that's plugged into a wall outlet, but this is an entire DAC, an amp, and a driver system in something the size of a coin. And it sounds this good. For the convenience alone, I feel like any audiophile should be very happy this exists. This is bringing higher quality music to a lot of consumers. Consumers will experience higher quality music, and then they will expect it in the future from other products. I feel like across the board, this is good for the audio community, because this, maybe even unknowingly, gets a lot more people into quality audio. And AirPods, well, AirPods sell better than car companies do. AirPods make more than Spotify, they make more than Tesla. It's insane how many of these are on the market, how many people are buying AirPods and AirPods Pros and things like that. And the same goes for BOSE. I'm thankful we live in a time where consumer audio is getting better and better. So that is going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. Comment letting me know what you think about true wireless IEMs like this and where audio is headed for the average consumer. Are you thinking about picking one of these up? I'm curious to know. If you want to get active in the community, you can at the forums at the link in the video description. And as always, don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this. Till the next one, guys. Peace.